The government has finally announced that aliens are real.
Aliens exist and President Trump knows about it. The aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach this stage.
The United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years.
This is no longer conspiracy theories or some sort of UFO sighting in the sky, because the whistleblowers have now officially revealed everything that we need to know about the aliens and what kind of UFOs we're dealing with. Aliens are real, and it seems like the government has been in contact with these creatures for a very, very long time. Now check out this footage, which was revealed by one of those Air Force veteran pilots named Jake Barber, who seems to have been recovering a 20-foot tall egg-shaped alien craft with no visible signs of propulsion. And also they were using the night vision in order to record this entire footage. And it seems like they're transporting this stuff. And it seems like he was sent on a mission in order to carry this object and transport it from point A to point B. And here is just a small footage of what this actually looks like. Just take a look at this stuff. This is basically how they were transporting it. And it seems like it's some sort of an egg-like structure.
Let's slow this down to take a closer look. That's an egg-shaped UAP suspended from a 150-foot long line. We're told the craft is about 20 feet long. The egg suspended in a cradle.
Imagine a 20-feet long craft, man. That's actually a pretty big size. And if the aircraft is that big, so that means that the aliens that are going to be sitting inside it are supposed to be super huge as well.
And look how careful the pilot is as they bring their precious cargo into land. Let's freeze frame here to look at one of the clearest images of a UAP ever taken. This is no blurry light in a distant sky. The source of the footage putting themselves at incredible risk to record this UAP retrieval.
Wow.
Look at how perfectly smooth the craft
They seem to have recorded this footage that they were not supposed to record. And just take a look at it, man. Like, that actually looks so much like a real egg, to be honest. Like, look at that stuff. I don't know what that is, which is kind of stuck on top of it. That seems to be some sort of a glass-like structure. Maybe that's where they are probably going to be seeing, like pretty much like what we have in our vehicles. We have a glass that works as a windshield. I think that's the windshield for this aircraft.
No visible means of propulsion or way to see inside.
Wow, you can't even see inside it. So it's just like you have a glass which is sort of like tinter or something like that, and nobody knows what the hell that is. And as far as what the whistleblowers have shared, it seems like this thing can literally fly. Now, Dr. Stephen Greer actually shared some very valuable information about this whole stuff. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's one of those guys who worked on all these things, the ex-UFO expert who has been working with Pentagon and NASA, and he has always been talking about this stuff, and now he actually revealed a lot more information, man. He showed some pictures that is very clear pictures. I think you guys should definitely take a look at this one.
So, one of the things that I love is this sort of thing. Now, this is just a page out of the briefing document for the.
I mean, he's speaking too fast here. Let me just slow this down a little bit so that you guys can hear what is going on.
So, one of the things that I love is this sort of thing. Now, this is just a page out of the briefing document for the president. And
wow, I mean, look at that stuff. ET craft, West Germany, 1951. Note virtually featureless exterior. Okay. And then we have another exterior. Look at that one. Man-made, which is Colossa, California, September 10, 1976. Now, apparently, this is how a man-made UFO would basically look like, because we've got all of these pipes and all that stuff. But whatever they have, what kind of technology these guys have been using, it seems like they don't use any sort of fuel, or there is no sort of rockets or any energy that's like boosting them all the way up. It just seems like, their aircraft just flies, and that's it. We don't really know what kind of technology is actually making it fly without needing fuel or combustion or engine or any sort of pressure that's being used in order to lift off of the gravitational force that our Earth has. This thing just acts absolutely insane. Now, he also shared some more stuff here.
Congress, it's 320 some pages, something. And this has an illustration, and you'll see on the left side ET craft, and on the right the man-made ones. We have several pages of these. The reason we put that in there is because most people, even if you're fairly close up, if you don't know what to look for, you're going to think an object is alien or NHI craft, non-human intelligence craft, when it actually came out of the Raytheon, or it came out of the Lockheed Skunk Works or Northrop Grumman.
I mean, just take a look at all of these alien crafts that these guys have captured. And a lot of people that have been sighting and taking footages of all of these UFOs and all that crafts, it definitely does look like the images that Dr. Stephen Greer had just shared here. Now, when you look at this aircraft, which is shared by the whistleblowers, you'll actually see that there is a literal egg-like shape. And if you actually compare that egg with a painting which was made in a holy church in the year 1350, which is way long ago, you'll come across this image which shows like two different types of aircraft that's just flying across, and then there's Jesus being crucified. And in both of these images, you can actually see that it looks exactly the kind of UFO, whatever that these guys have captured so far. Just take a look at this one and then compare that with the one that's shown in the Bible. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what that is, it's apparently, according to the Bible, it is said that these things are angelic beings. And these beings were created by God in order to just do their surveillance all around the earth. And the pilot that actually recorded this whole footage and he flew the chopper, he gave us like a full testimony of what he actually saw, what he witnessed, and what was the experience like when he actually got to see those things. And he says that he was possessed by this being, whatever was inside of that egg. And this being was not physical, whereas it was more like a spiritual being, and it was inside him, and he was able to feel the feminine energy of this being. And he says that it was beautiful, and it was very feminine, and it was a very positive energy that he felt from all of these angelic beings. Now, just take a look at what he actually has to say. This dude literally just felt that thing within his spirit, and he says that it literally just possessed him. He was able to feel all of that energy. That's crazy, man. I mean, they say that it's an alien species, but then this dude in particular, he actually says that it was not physical being. It was not some sort of an alien kind of thing. It was more like a spiritual being. It was a beautiful spirit. It was a positive energy that he felt, but the things did not end there, because there was a lot of things that went bad after they encountered whatever this entity was.
Once it was just me and that object in between the pick and the drop site. There's about 20 miles in between.
Okay.
I felt like something was inside of me. I felt like I was possessed by the most beautiful spirit I'd ever been possessed by. And
was it loving?
It was loving.
It was a loving spirit, man. It was loving spirit. What can it be? I mean, if you look at the stuff that we actually see in these things, right? It's mentioned in like the Bible. So what if it's just one of these angelic spirits? And that's probably why he's feeling all of those loving, beautiful emotions and energies. That would be great, right? If that's the truth. I would be happy for it.
But there was a sense of sadness at the same time. And
had you ever had an experience like this before?
No, it was a very feminine energy. I'll tell you that. It felt like the spirit of God, but not in any masculine sense. And it wasn't like a soul. It was like a freak.
Keep this in mind. He's saying that it was a spirit of God, but it was not masculine. It was more feminine energy, more softer. It's going to be crazy if all of these things comes out and it starts revealing itself to humanity. That would actually be so good.
That I was connected with. And whatever that force was since that night, it has stayed with me. And as crazy as this sounds, it's what's guiding me now. And it's what's providing protection for me.
It's changed your life.
It's changed my life.
He's saying that it's still guiding him, and it's still, giving him the energy in order to do all of these things and protecting him. I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Wait a second. Humans bonding psychically and emotionally with non-human intelligence? Yes. Jake Barber says that's exactly what happened to him. And he's not the only one. And he says the government...
So there are multiple.
Knows all about it.
There is a psychic component to the research and the most...
So apparently what these guys have been saying is that there is some sort of a psychic ability that all of us humans have. I mean, not all of us, but some of us humans actually have some sort of a psychic ability. And these things were done, like a heavy research was done on all of these things by the UFO experts in NASA and, all of these space research programs. It seems like there were a few selected guys that were able to use their psychic abilities in order to call upon these UFOs and these spirits of God. And these aliens apparently shows up up every time they use their psychic abilities. And as far-fetched as this all might sound, but this is what these guys are saying, right? Like, these are whistleblowers, and they're just not some random ass people that we can't really place or trust on or whatever. I mean, they have some credential, and these guys are people that have legitimately worked on all of these programs. They are part of NASA. They have been in that, done those work, and they even have these footages. And of course, these are just some sort of experience that all of these guys have had. And the government was stopping them from revealing these things to us public. And the reason why is most probably because, you know, the government doesn't want us turning to God. And one of the biggest reasons for this could be in order to bring the Antichrist in power. So what happens if everyone starts following God? What happens if all of them starts believing in God and worshiping God rather than all of these false gods? And this world would just turn into a sinless place, and people would actually fear God, and not a lot of negative stuff would be happening. And this would, of course, not benefit government in any sort of way. So they kind of just held all of these things back from us people so that we should never know about this stuff. And they thought that maybe when the time is right, we'll reveal this stuff. But right now, it's good that, you know, these whistleblowers have come forward and they've given us some of this information. Now, keep this in mind that all of these things could, of course, be part of the Project Blue Beam, where the entire world will be taken over by these aliens, and then there's this one guy who comes out and he saves all of the entire humanity, and this dude is supposed to be the Antichrist, and then he takes the throne. He becomes the one leader of all government throughout the entire world, all nations following this one guy, the most powerful guy, and he's going to be the Antichrist according to the Bible story. What's interesting is that Israel's chief has just announced that Trump already knows about these aliens. He was already informed about these things, and he has also seen these things. And just take a look at what was aired at NBC News today.
Aliens exist and President Trump knows about it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper, he said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. NBC News chief global correspondent Bill.
Wow. It seems like the aliens were waiting for us in order to understand what technology is and what space is, so that they can introduce themselves. I mean, I don't understand this whole point of, you know, making us wait this long. I mean, they could have already shown us what these technologies are by simply just being here. Why wouldn't they do that already?
Bill Neely explains this one.
Hi, Alison. Well, this is quite a story, and it comes from the man who headed Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years. Chaim Eshed is making the extraordinary claim that the United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens, not immigrants, but extraterrestrials.
So that's pretty much it. Israel has already confirmed that, you know, Americans and Israelis, these guys have already known these things for years to come.
Called them the Galactic Federation of Aliens. And he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria.
I wonder why these guys would even hide such a huge thing from humanity. And if Trump knew about it, when he was asked in the recent press interview, he said that I'm going to give you guys all the information as soon as I finish my inauguration and sit in the presidential seat. And the next day, I'm going to be giving you guys all the answers. If you already knew about this for all these years, why would he not reveal that in the press? I mean, is he still trying to hide it? And if at all, if he's probably trying to hide all of these things, does that mean that he's not going to be revealing any further information than what we already know as of now?
Well, the retired general says the US and Israel have kept it from the public because, quotes, humanity isn't ready and the aliens don't want to reveal themselves until humanity can evolve, he says, and understand what space really is.
What? The aliens said that they are not ready to reveal themselves. The aliens literally told President of the United States and Israel that they are not ready for humans to know them. I don't know if I should believe this or not, but it's coming from a very reliable source, of course. So that's just very skeptical. At the same time, you know, there are some very crazy, bizarre claims as of now around the world. And also we are seeing a lot of different UFOs, and apparently those are not UFOs. Those are some of these egg-like alien crafts, and there are different types of crafts. And we'll get to know more about this. Probably it's just Project Blue Beam. That's like my final conclusion as far as what I could come across.
Well, the good news is that he claims an agreement has been reached between the US government and the aliens, a contract to do experiments here. There's also, he says, a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives.
Does this all connect? Because is that why Elon Musk is like trying to get us to Mars? Or like they're building some sort of a massive space station there. So does that mean that these aliens and Americans are working together? I don't know. I don't know why America out of all the countries in the world. Why just America, right? Now this could all just be some sort of a Project Blue Beam, which we were already warned about. And for those of you who are wondering what this Project Blue Beam is all about, let me just show you. This very small shorts, which kind of gives you a brief explanation as to what the government is planning and how they're planning to, bring Antichrist into the leadership, and he's going to be controlling all of the government around the world. Just take a look at this stuff. It's crazy stuff.
In 1974, told a member of my team, Carol Rosin, that their plan is to create eventually an hoax, a threat from outer space, to try to unite the world like Independence Day, the movie, in a sort of a military global junta of...
I don't know if you guys have watched this movie, The Independence Day. I mean, what if the movie itself some sort of warning to us or some sort of a prediction, or maybe, they're just making our minds kind of get controlled to all of these non-realistic realities that, the Hollywood is kind of creating. Because if you look at Will Smith's movie, I mean, this movie was made by Will Smith, and the other movie, I, Robot, that was also made by Will Smith, and both of these things are coming true, man, because we already have robots. Elon Musk is bringing them, and it literally looks exactly like what we have seen in iRobot. So what if the Hollywood is already just telling us what the future is like? And what if all the Simpsons predictions is basically just letting us know that this is what's coming in the future? That's crazy stuff, right?
Humans against aliens. It's all nonsense. It's BS. But it sells well. It sells movies, it sells tickets, it sells books.
Exactly.
This is the Blue Beam, Project Blue Beam?
Yeah, that related to that. And I've met with many men who've been on operationally, like literally have been operational on those programs. It went from really clunky stuff, like the Betty and Barney Hill abduction. People think that was alien. It wasn't. It was us. Late 50s, early 60s.
It was not aliens. It was these guys.
And I think President Obama's actually working on a documentary about that. And it was an interracial couple, a very interesting story.
Wow, dude. So basically, Project Blue Beam is all about, government creating this fake alien invasion. And they're going to do it with all of these technologies and whatnot. And whatever these guys are like whistleblowers, they're actually trying to tell us, we don't know what to believe as of now. Because some of these whistleblowers, they're saying that it's literally aliens. It's some sort of spiritual beings. And they don't want humans to know about them yet until we know what technology is. And apart from this stuff, there are a lot of different ancient technologies, like pyramid, for example. That literally just shows us that ancient civilization did exist, and Anunnakis and all these guys, they actually did exist. Now, if you guys want to know about the Anunnakis, I'm actually releasing another video in just a couple hours from now. You should definitely check that video out because it's one of the most important videos if you guys want to understand what's literally just going on right now. And I've basically covered all of the proofs and everything about the Anunnakis and what kind of creatures they were, how they were originated, and what kind of technologies these guys possessed. And also I've shown some of the artifacts and some of the ancient paintings and proofs of these Anunnakis' existence. Now that video is going to be dropping in a couple hours from now. If you haven't watched that video, and if you've just watched this video for the first time, make sure to go ahead and check out the Anunnaki video that is going to be available on my channel. Don't miss out on that video. It's probably already uploaded by the time you're watching this video. Now, apart from this, guys, what's actually scary is that it seems like Donald Trump definitely knows that there is literally something going on. Because if you take a look at the headlines today, everything that they've been talking about is the inauguration and all the event that's happening. If you actually see that, it seems like the security service, which was upgraded just for presidential motorcade vehicles, which actually had some sort of anti-drone technology. And there have been multiple reports of credible threats. Now, take a look at this. This is how, President Trump was arriving. And all of these vehicles, they sort of have what's known as the anti-drone technology placed on top of them. Nobody knows why that is, and they've never done this before. This is like the first time. So now we see all of these alien UFOs just hovering all over across the sky, and now they're going to be using these anti-drone technologies, most possibly related to all of these drones that we are seeing across in the sky. And Trump might definitely be knowing what's actually going on. And man, after he becomes the president, he has promised that on 21st, he's going to be giving us all full information about whatever those drones are. And hopefully he also addresses some of these things that the whistleblowers have already revealed to us. I'm pretty sure that the media is going to be asking them a lot of different questions about the aliens and, what these whistleblowers have shown, the egg footage and everything, man. Look at this stuff. So he basically gets out. He gets into his private jet, him and his wife, and they're heading all the way to Washington, D.C. And there was also a latest report which came out as one of the findings, and apparently it seems like they found leather prosthetics which were actually used 3,000 years before, and they found this thing inside a tomb of a mummy. And apparently it seems like whoever this mummy was, the ancient Egyptians, they already had the technology of prosthetics, and they were literally using it as well. Just take a look at this stuff. You can even see their foot. There's like all these bones that's just popping out of the prosthetics, and it seems like they were walking with these things, man. Literally all of these technologies did exist back in those times. So this apparently makes people wonder that the ancient civilization, those who we call as the Anunnakis, they could have been behind how these guys have gotten all of these technologies. Wonder. And it's actually pretty good that they were able to do all of these really amazing looking craftsmanship. And another really funny stuff that's really going viral on Twitter right now is this image. For whatever reason, this alien image is allegedly going viral, and the backstory of what this image is all about is that it seems like some dude was just drunk, and he was arrested by the cops recently, and he's been claiming that aliens abducted him and they filled his body with a lot of alcohol, and this is probably why he's drunk. And he posted one of these pictures on his Facebook account where he said that these are the aliens that abducted him, and this thing has been going viral for whatever reason. I mean, people could make all of these weird stories up and anything could just go viral these days. And now that we have actually taken a look at all of the reports that just came in, I would honestly want to know what you guys think about all of this situation that's been going on. Do you think that whatever the Bible has been showing us for all these years, the images that we've been seeing in churches and all these stuff, do you think that we have finally reached the time when angels are going to appear? And maybe we are actually living at the end times when the second coming of Christ is arriving in just a matter of any time. We never know when this could happen. I think we're just living in one of those generations which is unpredictable. And I'm just wondering what kind of crazy things are going to be happening in the future as well. So 2025, Trump being president, there is definitely going to be a lot of different changes that's coming out, either good or maybe they could be terrible. We never know. So it's going to be a very interesting year to keep an eye out on. And yeah, I would definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about all of this situation that's basically going on with aliens. And hopefully on 21st, we'll get some more reports on all of this stuff. And of course, I will keep you guys updated right here on this channel. So make sure to go ahead, subscribe. It's absolutely free of cost for you guys to subscribe on YouTube. That's the best thing. And now that TikTok is banned, a lot of people are going to start using Twitter and YouTube. So that's actually a pretty good stuff. Now with that being said, if you guys did go on and enjoy this video, please make sure to go ahead and drop a big fat like on this video. It really helps me as a creator, helps the channel, helps the videos a lot more than you guys think. So just take a couple of your valuable seconds, show your support to the content. That really, really goes a long way. So thank you so much for all the support that you guys have been showing me on my previous videos. And with that being said, I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.